My goodness, we are at the end of the road today. For these ladies and gentlemen who've been watching you guide them along Menopause Lane. Go for it.
Good. I put you to sleep, didn't I?
Yeah.
I put you to sleep.
Yeah,
I actually made it on time. I cannot believe that.
I was just in shock.
I'm looking over. I got my thumb raised, and the announcer, like on the old Tonight Show, Ed McMahon. Oh, good afternoon, and this is. My name is Tom Jones, Pharmacist, and guess what? We're changing the name of our show to Tom Jones Pharmacist, and you're the first to know. So, today we have session 5, and boy, has a trip been down Menopause Lane interesting this week. The technology of putting this show together is absolutely fantastic. It'll drive you crazy, but anyway, it's so much fun. I love educating, and I love what I do, and I love being here helping you travel this road called Menopause Lane. And guys, watch out. Next week is going to be your turn. I don't even know how many days the segments will be. At least there'll be one, and it's called Andropause. And Ann, what do you think about andropause?
I don't know. But it's good to know that men change too. I mean,
Isn't that
right? It wouldn't be right for us women to get all the fun in life.
Oh my goodness, so it's so much fun and so good to be able to be here in front of you and trying to, do a good job of helping you understand the coping powers and the coping problems that go along with this thing called menopause. And we're just in the infancy stage of our program. We're going to actually have lots and lots and lots of different things that will be very informative for you and will allow you to take it to the next level. And what we're talking about is actually allowing you to be able to have good health. And that's really what life is all about. If we can help people age and prosper as we go through the different stages of life, and in our different programs that we have on the air, Today with Tom is the early morning program. Well, sometimes it's not quite too early, but it's when we get all our parts put together. And then the afternoon part has been called Pharmacist on Fire, but we've decided to now call it Tom Jones Pharmacist, because we're going to be talking about lots and lots of pharmaceutical type situations and medical type and health and wellness, and putting that all together to help you better understand your body. And yeah, so today is the 5th part. We've actually had 4 other parts, and we're going to go over some of the things that we've already gone over, but this might be a little scattered, but you know what? You can never have too much education and facts and figures, and there's just so much to figure out in life. So let's take that journey now on that new life that you have, and we're going to answer some of the questions that we've already answered, and we're also going to give you new facts and figures today and information, and we've just begun this journey, and I'm really excited about this week. So as we seek the answers to the health care issues and to our personal lives, because we all go through these emotional things called life, and we're going to answer some of the questions that you've been asking for all these years, and you've always wanted to have the answer, and now you're going to get the answer from me as best I can. And I thank you so much for being here with us. All right, number 1, how can you tell when menopause has started? Well, pretty daggone easy. you don't have a cycle or a menstrual period for beyond 12 months. That is the fail-safe way. You may have all the symptoms in the world, but you haven't had that 12-month non-cycle stage. You are in the perimenopausal stage when you have not gone in for more than 12 months without a cycle. It's that specific. All right, now of course you can have a surgical menopause, but we're talking about the menopausal stages of women. Number 2, all right, once any stage of menopause begins, should I be concerned about birth control? Absolutely, because if you have not gone through the total elimination and gone through menopause itself, gone into menopause specifically, you have to be concerned because you could get pregnant. That's answer number 2.
Happens all the time, doesn't it?
Yep. Yep. So, all right. Number 3. What types of treatment are there for menopausal symptoms? And it really kind of depends on what the symptoms are, so what the symptomatology is, and how you're actually responding to the menopausal issues. Some people breeze through it. Some people have no problems whatsoever, but other people have lots of problems. So let's just talk first about managing those hot flashes, because that's the first thing that pops up in most people's lives. Hot flashes mean, oh my goodness, I was burning up. It's that sensation that your body really is going through a change, and that's why they called it the change, because it now will have issues that you haven't had before, and you need to have some relief from that. Black cohosh, wearing different clothes, being cognitive of the fact that you're going to have, at times, some of the hot flashes. So you want to deal with those issues as they come up. Change the clothing. I mean, let's just face it. If you know you're going to have flashes and you're in a business meeting and you need to have relief, you do not want to have the wrong heavy clothes, sweaters, things on. You want to be able to not have as much problem. And the way you do that is actually you prepare yourself for those changes. You're going to have some libido issues and everything. It's relationships that actually you want to go through all these relationships and know that you want to be open also. Be open to your associates, your partner. You want to actually have a good game plan. Get me a sip of water here, because we're sitting outside here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're enjoying the garden and the patio and all the good.
Birds.
The birds are chirping, and we're just having a good time. Now, all right, how do I manage my erratic sex life? When you got, like I say, you got to be open. You've got to discuss this. And you don't want your whole life to come shattering down because you're going through the menopausal part of your life. So here you need to have a game plan, and I recommend talking to your significant other and just letting them know where you are in your stage of life. Hot flashes and night sweats and libido issues are common things that occur. How about depression? Yes, you can have some mild depression. You can have more moderate depression. So you want to have control of your body, but in these cases of time, it's hormonally challenging because your hormones in the body are changing. All 3 hormones. Cortisol levels are changing. So estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, the DHEA, the cortisol levels, the stress levels, it's an accumulation of enormous effect, and you can't do everything alone in life. You have to have, at times, help, and you really need to be able to have a game plan from that standpoint. you need to not suffer from all of the clinical depression that you could have. What physical changes are you going to have in menopause and perimenopause? Drier skin. You're going to have lots of issues that relate to different things that happen to different parts of the body. Dry skin, the hair will probably be a little different, and research points that you will get through this stage of your life. It's going to be 3 to 5 years, or sometimes even longer. But then again, you're going, when you evolve out of menopause, you start perimenopause about 35, start having lower levels of progesterone produced in your body, and then 45, 50, or somewhere in that range of age, 51 being the average, you will physically go through that period of longer than 12 months that you do not have a cycle. You're completely in menopause at that time. Hormonal levels, your estrogen levels will drop significantly. You will still have a little production of estrogen, but not much. Your testosterone levels, and yes, you as a lady will have, you do have a small amount of testosterone, that will also change. So the DHEA changes, the cortisol stress that goes on in your life, your body will probably have less energy because you're going to need, you've got to actually reduce your eating a little bit in this arena because you're not physically as active as you were earlier in life. Lots and lots and lots of changes go on. And just because you go through that 3 to 5 years of the hormonal changes significantly and you go into menopause, doesn't mean that postmenopause will not be unchallenging either. It will, in certain instances, be challenging. So, again, the thing that you want to do is develop a good plan of action for the menopausal part of your life. And now, we're going to skip to the second part of our equation. Yes. Yes, Ann?
You talked about postmenopause. Menopause. What is the stage between menopause and postmenopause?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Ann, because the question is, what's the stage between postmenopause and menopause? It's actually a transition period in which some of the symptoms are going to be less. They are actually not going to be as much as was the case early in menopause. You won't have the hot flashes as much, but guess what? Some of the other 34 or 40 or however many symptoms are going to change at that point. So therefore, you have to prepare for the postmenopausal. And this could be as simple as some osteopenia being present. Some osteoporosis could occur. So you could have more dry skin. You could have more vaginal dryness because at this point you're going to have less of all the hormones. And these are easy fixes. These are, for the most part, easy fixes. The estrogen level, you can use a vaginal cream that will actually help you all during the menopausal, well, actually you can do it during premenopause. You will be more likely to have to do it in the menopausal and postmenopausal because, again, estrogen is an essential ingredient in the body. When the estrogen levels don't match what the body needs, you get dryness. And that's problems with the skin, problems with the hair, problems with vaginal dryness. So it changes slightly, but there's solutions to all of these issues, and they're easily taken care of. Yes, Ann?
Well, how long does postmenopause last?
Postmenopause lasts, I hope, forever.
Does that last forever?
Oh, yeah, it lasts.
But do you ever get to where you just free as a bird?
Well, you may be free as a bird, but there's issues that come on later in life, like the osteoporosis, like the dry skin, like the cognitive remembering, like all the things that go along with that. And these are issues that you need addressed even in your 60s, even in your 70s, even in your 80s, and Lord help me, I hope you make it to 90.
That's our excuse if we forget something.
Oh,
We
yes.
just blame Minnie for it.
It's called Minnie's part of postmenopause. So we're searching right now, ladies and gentlemen, and folks, we're searching for our name for, we've got Menopause Lane, but we're looking for our name for our andropause. So you should hear some of the names we've come up with. So I've even heard one that says Tom's XYZ. So, but anyway, all right, now, as we go through those changes in life and as we progress, we see a lot of menopausal patients, and everybody has a different situation in their life. So what Mary has, maybe Alice doesn't have, but Alice will have XYZ. Maybe Sue will have XYZ, and Alice doesn't have any of those. So before 40, menopause is considered early menopause. And this would be a situation in which it would probably be a surgical, or it could be that your mother or grandmother went through an early stage of menopause. The first symptoms that actually show up in menopause are hot flashes and, do I dare say it, weight gain. I see it all the time in our clients that actually have come to me in the past. Weight gain. Weight gain is a big time issue. When you put on those extra 5 to 10 to 15 pounds and you can't get it off, and it's the first time in your life you've ever run into a situation, how many people are aware that the estrogen levels play, and progesterone particularly, play a major role in why you cannot get that amount of weight off your body? Because changing hormonal levels mean different cortisol levels, and the thyroid plays a role. You've got enormous amounts of systems in the body that play off of each other. And if you're not exercising the way you were when you were 20, and most people and most of us don't, you're going to actually need to consume less numbers of calories. And menopause, you just don't feel quite as good as you did the prior 10 years. So weight gain is a significant factor here in this process. And the one that we talked about yesterday, and I'm going to grab a sip of drink right now. The one that we talked about yesterday is a significant part of the menopausal era of your life and stage of your life. That's osteoporosis, calcium absorption, vitamin D absorption, magnesium, which we didn't even touch on yesterday. But guess what? Your body needs magnesium to be and have a super bone preparation. You really need so many different ingredients. And when you have a deficiency or a lower amount, and most people really need to actually have, you need to have your a body to be able to have enough magnesium. You need all the nutrients. You absolutely need all of the nutrients in the body in order to make yourself proper. So the deal is, make sure that you're taking care of your body. And some people are going to need hormone replacement therapy. Some of you are going to possibly need that. And you need to know exactly what kind of preparation that you would need to even consider. So the whole parts of your life are affected by your hormonal levels. All right, what are some of the ways that you can cope with menopause and the symptoms of menopause? Well, again, it can actually be related to storing and having hormone replacement therapy. But I would never, ever recommend that you have anything related to synthetic hormones, but that's just my personal thoughts on that. You may have problems with sleeping. You need to be cognitive of the use of alcohol, caffeine, spicy foods when you are dealing with the hot flashes. You can have problems with sleep. You can have all sorts of mood swings. You can have physical changes. You can have memory problems. You need to actually have a good game plan for your menopausal symptoms. So now we're going to head into what is hormone replacement therapy. We're going to talk about that one more time. We've actually talked about it a little bit earlier in our weekly discussions, but now we're going to talk about it for another time, just so you know what we're really talking about. You've got different hormones that you can actually choose from. You've got the synthetic hormones like the Premarin and the Prempro that have been around and are made by the big pharmaceutical companies. I have always liked the bioidentical hormones that actually are customized specifically for your body, and those are my favorites. We use in compounding, prescription compounding, we use pharmaceutical grade FDA approved ingredients, and we're regulated by the Board of Pharmacy in each state. So one of the first things when I started compounding over 25 years ago, we had to learn everything about hormones, because that was the majority of the prescriptions that we actually started filling. So my synopsis of all of that is replace only what your body is lacking. Bring it up only to the physiological level of your needs. Never ever go with higher strengths. You don't need abundant quantities. You need to just bump your body back up to the amount that your body had prior to menopause. And you do it by testing. And anybody who does any type of replacement hormone therapy needs to test to find out where your levels are right now. If you don't test, nope, you shouldn't be using them. You need to test every 3 to 6 months initially to start, maybe once a year if you're not having many problems, but you need always to have, and I recommend saliva testing because that's the best way of finding out where the actual true hormonal levels are in your parts of the body. And topical hormonal saliva levels give you what's inside the body itself. The blood test will tell what's inside the blood, but in the tissue level is the major area that you want to have those levels brought back up to. And yes, it is accurate. It's still controversial. Most doctors don't do it, but we have, in compounding pharmacy, have recommended the saliva testing for a long time, and I always have used ZRT labs. They're a fantastic lab out of Washington State. They were the innovators and still are the best company out there for saliva hormonal testing. Like I say, it's still controversial. You will have other practitioners who say, nope, that's not exactly the way to go. But there again, you have to be what you're favorable. You need to be where you are comfortable and you understand. And Erica, thanks for being in today. Thank you for coming in. So now we're going to go to number 5. What kind of menopause symptoms do women experience? And first, irregular periods. You're gonna go through a stage of life in which you are not regular, and that simply means that you are going to be in the premenopausal stage of your life. Starts about 35, moves right on with you. It can become more irregular as you get closer to your real menopause. Hot flashes and flushes and everything that relate to that, the heat that you have, that you experience. You can have the night sweats. The night sweats are part of the heat. That's the nighttime drenching. And Cheryl, thanks again for being in today. Cheryl Bates Meredith, thanks for being in. Again, you're with Tom Jones Pharmacist. We're live and we're going through the 5th day of our travel down menopause lane, and let's get you through that journey and so you are better off in life. And then you will have the urinary and vaginal changes, because it does create more of an issue as you get thinner levels of you actually have lower levels of estrogen, so therefore the areas will be thinner. And thinner is not better, not when we're talking about the vaginal and urinary tract areas. And other physical and memory issues, yes, that's right, we're talking about memory. There's 34 to 40 to 50 symptoms that can occur with menopause, and they're not all the same for everybody. Muscle structure of the body, muscular structure, skin elasticity, all relate to a degree with the estrogen levels and with the other hormone levels in the body. So it affects the whole body. It's not just one part, it's all parts of the body. Symptoms occur. You need to address the symptoms, and everybody, again, is different. One size does not fit all. That's what we always refer to, and any time that was the big problem when the big pharmaceutical companies produced 1 or 2 or 3 products only for people. They didn't do the creams. They do them now. Some do them now. They didn't do the suppositories. Some do them now. They didn't do the topical gels. So I think some of them do them now. But they were behind times, because we pioneered how you effectively gave relief to our ladies. And it is relief. You're not going to solve all of these issues, ever. But you can take care of 80, 90, 95, 99% of the issues. And yes, you have to go in for your recheck yearly or every other year. You have to go in for those rechecks. And when you get into the perimenopausal and menopausal and postmenopausal of your life, you still have to have checks, because you don't want to think it's just a little symptom and it be cancer or any other related issue that can go wrong with the human body. You have your checkups, you have your pap smears, and you also protect your body by living better, taking care of yourself, losing the weight, getting the exercise program, and the healthy living part. So, this has been an entertaining week. We have actually had enormous responses from you folks. Clinical studies are now being shown that symptoms of menopause can be managed through the concerted and concentrated efforts of women and their doctors, and we as partners, as far as compounding pharmacists, educators, coaches, people who have done consultations. It's a case, there's no need to extremely suffer from menopausal issues. There is no extreme need to suffer from all of these problems. We've seen every single solid issue that people have had, whether it's thyroid, whether it's adrenal, whether it's the weight loss, whether it's the hot flashes, whether it's the mental problems that go along with remembering things. In conclusion, coping with the task at times. It can be very daunting. And you don't need to be alone in that process. We recommend that you check with your doctor. We recommend that you check and learn as much as you humanly can. That's why right now Ann and I have decided to go ahead and develop a really, really comprehensive program on menopause, and we're working day in, day out on that right now. We want to have the best program that there is out there ever for menopause. The important thing is to remember that you, our client, our patient, our person who watches our show, our friend, our community, you deserve good help. You deserve to know everything about everything that you can learn about the body. And we want to be that resource for you. So let us know how we can help you. Let us know what we can do, what program we can put on the air, what advice we can give you, and what you need for help in that travel down menopause lane. And you know what? You'll win, we'll win. It will be a wonderful situation. For all the people that have joined me this week, and Ann, thank you, Ann, for helping me. Without her, I would not even be on the air anytime soon, or
You'd be late, huh?
I'd be later than I always am. But anyway, the bottom line is we love you all. We love you all. We're here to help, and we enjoy being a coach, an educator, a consultant, and we love having you with us. God bless. Follow us on Facebook. Let us know what your needs are. Send us questions. Send us everything that you want us to go over, and we will be there for you. Again, we're on the air twice a day, every single day of the week, and we're here for you. Love you all, and goodbye, and see you next week with Menopause, my friends.